A year ago, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show came out and continued to make the split in the Star Wars fanbase even bigger. And now, over a year later, we're still talking about the possibility of a second season. And with interviews from Ewan McGregor, Kathleen Kennedy, Deborah Chow, and even the little girl who played Princess Leia in the show, here are all the updates about a possible second season for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, whether or not we're going to get one, and of course, at the end of the video, we're going to speculate all about whether or not we should get a second season, and if we do, what that second season would look like. So stick around to the end of this video so you can see all the evidence laid out in front of you, so we can give our best guess to the question, is season 2 of the Kenobi show actually happening? The Obi-Wan Kenobi limited series was supposed to be just that, limited. However, with many fans very excited to see Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen come back to their respective roles in the galaxy far, far away, many fans and even Ewan himself don't want the fun to end. Now, before we get into all these interviews, seeing what Ewan, Kathleen, Deborah, and even Vivian said in these interviews, tell me in the comment section below whether or not you want a second season of the Kenobi show. And while you're at it, smash a like on this video. First of all, you have to remember how this first season ended and why we even got this season in the first place. Well, the show was made to answer all the unanswered questions from A New Hope and the original trilogy. Also, Obi-Wan consistently calling Vader Darth in the original trilogy instead of Anakin, like he's called Anakin the entire run of the prequel trilogy. And that first season of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show really wrapped up all those loose ends very well when Obi-Wan says, "Then my friend is truly gone." Also, another question that had to be answered was how did Princess Leia even know about Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope? And it also explains why Leia later down the line names her kid Ben after Obi-Wan. But the show ended with the rematch of the century and Kenobi going off with Qui-Gon to learn how to become a Force ghost. And that's where Obi-Wan is supposed to remain for the next 10 years until A New Hope on Tatooine watching over Luke. So if there was a second season of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, then what would it be about? Now before I answer that, I'm sure you're saying, Mike, that was a perfect ending. They don't need to have a second season. And I completely agree with you, but Disney and Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy love one thing, and it's called money. The Obi-Wan Kenobi limited series did one thing, make money. Everybody came back to see what they were going to do with the legendary characters of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. However, it's not all about the money. Ewan McGregor himself wants to come back to do a second season, not for the money, but because he loves this character. In an interview with Disney Studio Awards, Ewan McGregor said he was so happy to get to come back to the role and work with Hayden again, and also he said he hopes that they get a chance to do it all over again. But Ewan wasn't the only one who said he wants to come back to do a second season. Deborah Chow, who directed every episode of that first season, said, hey, there's 10 years until A New Hope, so who knows? Maybe there's room for another story there. And even the president of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy herself, said that the door is never closed with the opportunity for a second season, so never say never. And even the young actress who played Princess Leia in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show has come out and said that although she doesn't think there's going to be a second season, if there is, her character probably won't be involved. So with all these major people on board, the president of Lucasfilm, the director who directed the entire show, and of course, Obi-Wan himself, is it possible that we could be seeing these legendary characters come back for just one more adventure? Now, even after hearing all these people wanting to come back to do a second season, I think this is a bad idea. Sure, you have these people who want to come back and do more. Ewan McGregor, of course, is probably the most important person. He wants to come back and play Obi-Wan. Well, then put him in a flashback or a cameo in some other show. There is no story for a second season of Obi-Wan, so don't try to put some gloob glob globbity gloob mess together to create a second season of this show. Obi-Wan is supposed to stay on Tatooine, watch over Luke, and learn how to become a Force ghost for the next 10 years until we see him again in A New Hope. He can't leave the planet, and Vader can't find him. It would be a huge mistake to make a second season, have Obi-Wan leave Tatooine again, leaving Luke unguarded, after an Inquisitor literally came in and chased him with a red lightsaber in the first season. But with all that being said, what do you think? Do you still want a second season of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show? Do you think we're going to get one even if you don't want it? Tell me in the comment section below. Smash a like on this video if you liked it, hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. Regardless of whether or not we do get a second season of this show, I think it's a bad idea. But if we do get a second season, I will be covering all of it right here. Of course, we have 3 live streams every week on this channel on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want more, go check out this video I just did about the possibility of Natalie Portman coming back to Star Wars in the role of Padme Amidala.